All right, what's up, guys? So, Next Gen TV, and yeah, I seen the clip where the guy was like, he said 3,500 for the haircut, and I'm like, bro, it's no disrespect to Zias, but I'm just saying that's not a $3,500 haircut. That's not even a $20 haircut. If he just, I don't know if he did the braids, like he did like a lot, but I'm like, fam, I just think back on when I used to go to the barber. And this guy, I'm saying, like, he will like hook me up. Like, I'll go in there looking one way, come up out of there looking like a completely different person and things. So yeah, I'm saying, like, bro, the thing is this: he, for just $20, my barber, he would cut my beard. He get like this like face stuff sprayed in this towel, wrap it around my face, then of course get the haircut. This is when I was just having, it like, so it was just throughout the duration of when I was mainly going to him when I had decided to get a fade. But I think he did cut my hair a few times when I had the mohawk. But anyways, regardless of the fact, bro did not overcharge me. He didn't like, oh, prices is going up, none of that. It was just always just $20. So yeah, I if he was still in this world with us, sadly he did pass away, I probably would go back to him and things. But yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't trust. And that was the thing. Like, I told him about content creating. I told him how I was a content creator. I told him about, like, crazy events and all that other stuff. He wasn't on no business like, oh, well, because now, you getting better with this content creating, I gotta overcharge you. Nah. Like, my thing is this: if he was still with us, because I know he wanted to get into doing comedy, because he was pretty funny, and if he wanted to, like, needed my help when it came to that stuff, I'm like, fam, we could go on the road, I'll help you with recording, all that stuff. He was somebody where I'm like, as little as a haircut, it's just, I think that's just the thing that you got, like, that, just that respect for a barber. It's like, you do things for them, because it's like, yeah, they hooking you up, they get you right and things. So yeah, but this guy, I'm like, 3,500 for a haircut. I'm like, fam, there ain't even Honda Civics that be asking for that much as a down payment. So I'm like, bro, you crazy if you think, and all you did after this is just ruin your business. Cause now ain't nobody, even people that like got just normal 9 to 5s, they ain't got like no content creating job and none of that. You gonna have a lot of people that don't want to be bothered with you because you out here charging 3,500 for a cut. And I'm like, bro, it's a haircut. I ain't asked you to inject my body with some serum and have me have some super strength or something. I'm like, bro, what are you talking? Yeah, anybody would have the same reaction as Zias did. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that guy's crazy for that. But anyways, I said what I needed to say. Most likely gonna say, because I ain't know it was like a whole 8-minute video. I just thought it was I just seen the clip and stuff. But nah, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Next Gen TV for more videos like this. And with that being said,
How much are you?
3,500.
Hurt my stomach.
it's funny how he was looking. He was like, I know how this gonna turn out. Bro ain't getting that 3,500. I'm telling you, my thing is this. I'm like, would you be willing to fight for that 3,500? Because I'm like, not even 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, I'm like, yeah, Zias is a lot bigger than bro. He ain't winning that fight unless you got like a whole, like, not even, okay, maybe not an army, but like a decent size like people, but in a group, maybe, just maybe, you might win that fight. But yeah, you 1-on-1, nah, he ain't winning that fight. I'm sorry, but no, because didn't they say Zias played football in, like, it was high school, college, I don't know. But I'm saying, I'm like, bro, you ain't winning that fight.
Hey,
No.
yo.
3,500 for a haircut, that's crazy.
What made you say AO at that?
Bro, because that just sounded crazy, bro. Like, it's like in this, like, I hear it faster now. Like,
What?
like if you say some
And
crazy.
that's the thing too, where it's like, because I don't know, like, I guess if people would ask me like, how much would I charge if I was a barber? 20. I'm like, my thing is this: if all I'm doing is just lining him up or something, yeah, maybe if I'm like retwisting his braids and then like doing like the same, I probably might have, I don't know, I still probably, because I'm like, yeah, if my barber, I'm like, that's how I look at it. It's like, it's a $20 cut and things. So I feel like, even if, because I just remember the one time I went to the barber shop and bro charged me 25, and I'm like, okay, I'm never going to you again. Because I'm like, on top of that, I was like, like, it wasn't the same day, but it was a moment prior before that where bro cut like the side of my ear, and I'm like, bro, I should be all like, nah, bro, I'm gonna deduct you that 5 and give you 20 because you cut my ear that time. So, but no, but I think it's definitely gonna be something where it's under 100, probably even under 50. I'm like, if anything's, if I'm doing a lot of different stuff and having to travel, because I look at it, it's like it's gonna be good business for me if I'm like, all right, let me just charge you like, all right, if it's like, yeah, if I'm just cutting, then yeah, probably just charge 20. If I'm doing like extra, like if I'm like rebraiding and extra stuff, then it's like, we're designs, and I'm like, yeah, it probably might be a little bit more in things, but it's something where I'm like, you ain't gotta have to worry about me charging you over 100 just because I'm trying to better my business and things. And I'm like, being on a platform as big as your guys', I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have it where the price is right and stuff. But anyways,
like I catch it way faster now than I like used to.
Okay, but like the concept of like pause and AO. Okay, when you said it hurt my stomach, right? I thought of a lot of things that could have hurt your stomach. Okay,
bro.
But in order to say pause,
hey,
you can only think about one thing.
So
that means in your head you like, dick hurt my stomach. It's so deep inside of me. I gotta say pause.
Do y'all hear this dude, bro? Do you hear this, bro?
I'm just saying the concept of saying pause and hey yo, you have to have thought about that. Why is it in your head in the first place?
No, bro. No, it didn't work like that.
I could be like, bro,
like that
shit real long. And be like, hey yo. I'm like, bro, I could be talking about anything, a Subway sandwich.
Bro.
But no, I still feel like you gotta say pause after that. It's like if you go and say, because it's something, it's just, the thing is this, because it's like you eliminate, if I don't know what you're talking about, like let's say if my back is turned and you say something like that, then that's why I kind of gotta like, look at me like, bro, what is you talking about? I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta say pause. You gotta let somebody know. You gotta give out context. You gotta say the whole sentence. You only giving me the theater cut, but you out here, like, nah, bro, it's like you gotta give me the director cut. You gotta say the whole thing. You can't just like just say a couple of words and I'm supposed to, nah, bro, you gotta say pause or because I am gonna hit you with an AO. I'm like, what is you talking about?
Hell nah, bro.
But it's like it's different. It's a difference though between like saying my stomach hurt and then you talk about that thing real long. Pause. I'm like, I can't even say that just even with the context being there and stuff. So, but yeah, there's just certain things that you say where you got to follow it up with a pause afterwards. Because if you give somebody enough time, it's kind of like Uno. You give somebody enough time to say Uno. It's kind of like with Ayo. It's like if you ain't clearing yourself up afterwards, I feel like that. Yeah, it'd be a problem. You just let it sit there and just marinate whatever the statement was, and it's a possible statement. I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta follow it up with a pause.
In order to say, hey yo, you have to be like, oh, a long.
Bro. Hell nah.
So I feel like that's projecting their own gas onto others.
Hell nah. You hear this, bro? Do y'all hear this right now, bro? Hell nah.
Bro in the back trying to figure out, he's like, how am I gonna have to explain to him that this cut gonna be 3,500? And why did he not tell him that before then? I'm like, bro, I've been like, yeah, you could go. I just let my hair be all nappy and things. I'm like, I'm not, you ain't, but I ain't giving you no 3,500 for a cut.
Him up, bro. Him up.
Because even if you think like gas and traveling, that's not no 3,500. So it's like,
yeah, I'm like, that's crazy.
You get me right, chat?
Yes, sir.
I always got a do-rag on though. You get me right?
Yes, sir. In there.
It's like at most that's like 30. If anything's, but I just I don't know. Like with braids, probably maybe with braids, it's like, cause I don't know, with me, I feel like if I'm having to redo the braids, I feel like redoing the braids, it's like you just doing it with your hand, unless he got like some machine that can redo the braids and stuff. If not that, doing it, I'll probably at most 45 if with braids, but if I'm doing cut, 25 maybe, just maybe, but just so I can like, cause I'm like, yeah, if I'm like traveling down, I'm like, okay, I just kind of like having it like add up eventually, with gas money. But it's like I could be charging you over 100. I ain't gonna do that to you, cause I ain't trying to ruin my business. So at most, like maybe I would charge like $30 to $45, just so I'm like, yeah, just to travel out here and stuff. But like at the shop, yeah, it probably would have been like 20 or something and things. But anyways. Why is he rubbing his hands? I'm
W?
like, bro, stop doing that.
They saying trim.
Trim.
They saying trim. That shit
I'm like
trim,
making me
son.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit real trim, son.
They fucking with it.
How much are you?
3,500.
That's crazy.
You said what?
3,500.
He's like, B-Lou's like, I don't even want to look. Yeah, I'm like, man, you're crazy.
You said what?
3,500. Cash out, card,
That's crazy. And he's dead serious about it.
tap and pay.
He's like, nah, let me pause this stream.
Hell you say, nigga?
3,500, bro.
I ain't paying you $3,500.
Finna have to look at this shit.
You not getting $3,500 from me, bro.
Yeah. Look at the people. I'm like, nah, bro, you crazy thinking I'm gonna go and give you $3,500 for a cut. I'm like, you name a time where it said you gave somebody $3,500 for a cut, because I'm not giving you $3,500 for a cut, bro. I'm like, you can get cut for $3,500, but yeah, I'm like, you ain't getting $3,500 for a cut. So
I don't know that. Keep going.
Like
Keep
that.
going.
that's
Like
crazy.
that, boss.
You're not getting $3,500 from me, dog.
Need that.
I know, like somebody said, like, bro meant 35. I'm like, oh, that 35 with. I'm like, then, bro, you gotta say that. You gotta say 30. There's a decimal in the middle of it. 35 decimal. Then you don't say 100. You just say dollars afterwards. And I'm like, oh, okay. I could tell it's like the education ain't fully there, but I get it. You just, it's like that was the part of class that he missed. Like I'm like, yeah, bro, you gotta add decimals, man. You can't just be all like, oh, just take away because then it'll be 35. But I'm like, that no. I'm like, you crazy.
You ain't say that when I called you, bro.
Shit, I told you, the house car was expensive. I said that.
$3,500 for a house call
Yes, bro.
in Tulsa?
That's light, though.
I'm like, that, bro, that's a mortgage. That's not no hair. That's crazy.
That mean?
Shit. They done paid more, bro. Come on, man.
Who done paid you more than $3,500 for a house call, bro?
I know.
Man, we shouldn't have to argue, debate.
Right.
And he can't think of not one person. I'm like, yeah, bro, you could go. I'm like, yeah, people. I'm like, chat. That's why I looked at chat and said, chat, how much should I pay him? I'm like, whatever the first price that pops up, then I'm like, oh, 35. Okay, cool. You getting 35 decimal 00, but you ain't getting 35 no decimal 00. You ain't getting that.
I'm not paying you $3,500, bro.
Got other places to be, man. Like kids.
I'm like, what that got to do with me?
Man, 3,500 steep though.
I ain't
Yeah.
$3,500. You tweaking, bro.
Homie signed too.
Man, I'm just saying though. That's 3,500 steep.
Hold on, mute that.
Damn, mute the stream. Wow. Yeah, that guy is crazy. He's like, it's about to get active.
I mean, bro, that shit dead, bro.
I ain't leaving till I get it.
You say you're not leaving till you get what?
That 35.
He drinking water. He
sure about that?
hydrating. He's like that's the thing, bro. Ain't even paying attention to it. He ain't paying attention to the signs. I'm like, unless he has something on him that could stop Zias. If he think he's gonna use bare hands, I'm sorry, but no. I'm like, Zias is the same man that broke a security guard's arm by arm wrestling. You honestly, yeah, that's something where I'm like, nah. No. That's just something. I wouldn't. My thing is this. Let's say if they was making a biopic about B-Lou and Zias, I wouldn't even want to try out for that role of the barber. I'm like, nah, bro, because that means I'm going to have, like, if a fight if it partakes after this, then I'm like, yeah, that's something where I'm like, I got to reenact that. So I'm like, nah, I'm like, nope, I'm good. I don't even want to reenact that. I'm like, maybe I'll be the cameraman recording it and all, but I'm like, nah, I wouldn't even want to reenact that. That's crazy.
Positive.
You real sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Somebody was like 350. No, not even a maybe. That no. I'm like I said, because what I'm saying, like gas. I don't know exactly, but if I had to like guess, like okay, so like let's say if B-Lou and Z is like their house or wherever they do like their streams or whatever, but it's like, so let's say it's like a 10 20-minute drive to their house and things. Like if you traveling some distance now, just be all like, hey, I gotta travel some distance. So is it cool? Like I like charge like gas, like travel, like traveling fee or something. If not, like I understand it's cool. Maybe you could come into the shop and I'll give you a cut. You could come over to my place. So at least then I'm not having to overly charge you and stuff. Because I feel like like stuff like that needs to be discussed and talked about. But yeah, it's just something where it's like you think at 3,500. I'm like, fam, did you fly a private jet over here, a military jet? I'm saying because you could get back on that jet and fly up out of here. But I'm like, again, you ain't getting 3,500 out of me. That's crazy.
3,500 though, bro. Like,
bro,
for
you're
real,
not getting
for real, bro.
35,
3,500, bro.
You're not getting 35, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're not even getting 100. I'm keeping the butt. Like,
Damn.
Yeah, see?
no.
All right, house call for 100 Zeke. Yeah.
Well, shit,
That's my thing is this. That would be more reasonable than, but that's like if I know the guy. Like I'm like, no, I'm hooking you up because it's like you've been cutting my hair all this time. I'm hooking you up. That's why I was like, I know with my barber, I told him, I'm like, hey, anytime you need help with like anything, I'm like, yeah, I got you and stuff, like with the comedy, because I was like, I was in there, like me and my barber, I remember we would constantly be in there just having conversations and stuff, so it would even be as little as like recommending him shoes and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things, like I said, like if he still would have been alive today, I'd be like, nah, bro, he's like all the times hook me up with a cut, and I'm like, I got you, bro, I got you. So but if he had been on like 3,500 for a cut, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to put in my 2 weeks, I'm like, this ain't even a job, but I'm still gonna put in my 2 weeks because I feel like that's the reasonable thing to do. If you out here trying to charge me 3,500 for a cut, that's crazy.
Like,
Staying the night where?
couch.
Nigga said couch.
I know, like what?
Bro, I would toss your ass out of here like Uncle Phil. What do you mean?
Somebody's like scripted. I'm like, I don't know. You got some people out there. Look how people be carrying on when you don't give them a tip. Now it's like, and I've seen where barbers, they've done this before too, where it's like they want to charge 35 for a cut though. It's crazy. But I've seen where barbers have done that, and it's like they charge like crazy amounts and things. So I don't know, unless like it does come out and say that it's like it's scripted, then it's like okay, cool. But if not, then yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, even just as a comedy skit, I'm like, still that's it's still crazy. I'm like, I still gonna say what I need to say at things, because I'm like, nah, man, that's crazy.
Bro, that's serious, bro.
We not doing 35, bro.
That's your partner.
Bro, I gotta get back to the
Oh, I
story.
didn't get no cut.
Help your boy out.
I didn't get a cut.
35?
Yeah, bro.
100?
Yes.
Like 3,500.
Yeah. 35 bands. If I do three bands.
That's crazy.
500
I'm like,
discount.
yeah, you about to get 3 rubber bands. I'm like, that's what you gonna get. That like actual, I would go. The funny thing is like I do some petty stuff like that too, and I'll go to the Target. I get a whole like one of them like big giant packs of rubber bands. I'm like, okay, you want 3 bands, right? 1, 2, 3. I would lay out 3 bands on the table. I'm like, that's the only bands you gonna get out of me. But if you think there's gonna be 3,500 in the middle of those bands, that's not gonna happen. So this conversation's over at this point. I'm like, I ain't gonna continue arguing with you over my money. I'm like, that's crazy.
Way down here.
How far you drive?
Shit, a minute. Drove about an hour.
And still, that ain't enough. That's not 3,500. That like, yeah, that gas traveling distance. My thing is this. Let's just say, if they live like in California, I'm like, it's pretty. My thing is this. Unless you're traveling from like let's say they live like Zias and Belu, they live at the bottom of California, and you traveled still. That's not even a $3,500 trip. So that's why I'm like, it's still under what, 1,000. I feel like to travel. If you got, my thing is this, you could have. I don't even know. Like, I guess even if like electric, I'm over here trying to think. I'm like, no, that 3,500 for. I'm like that, bro. Even if you travel all the way across the country, that still ain't enough. That's crazy.
You're not getting 35.
Yeah.
You said what? I'm about to say.
Oh, he was joking. Okay.
Hey, I was trying to be calm about it.
Yeah, but that was his trim.
I was trying to be calm about it. I was like,
but the thing is somebody's like, that's an 05 yeah, I remember. For those that remember Dan Corday when he was on sneaker shopping and stuff. But yeah, my thing is this. So I'm like, but would you, if like, let's say he's like, all right, 3,500, it's cool. I feel like anybody would take it because you just be like, dang, I was joking. I'm like, yeah, I think he realized he wasn't gonna go nowhere with that, and he wasn't striking no fears. So it's one of those things. I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't did 35 for a cut. And I'm like, yeah, bro, that's crazy. So anyway, but yeah, it's like, but if he was actually joking, then I'm like, okay, cool. But if he was being serious, but he just said, okay, I'm just joking, so this can be over with. I'm like, okay, let's see what the actual price is gonna be, because I'm like, yeah, that's some wild stuff, man.
Getting 35, cuz. Hello, bro.
Hello.
I was about to say that. They say he was dead. He was trying to hustle me real quick.
I know you got it, man.
He was trying to see what he could get.
Like, it's one thing though, if you, cause I don't know, I guess like how I would have done that, I'd be like 3,500. As soon as I seen his face, I'm like, nah, I'm playing with you, bro. I'm like that. I feel like when you, the thing is this, if you're joking, you gotta like let the joke be like short and stuff. You can't like drag it out for a long period of time. I'm like, yeah, it's like you say it and then like 3,500, then he kind of like look and like, I'm playing with you, bro. It's like, nah, it's like 35, and then it's like $35, okay? But yeah, it's like he just let it drag on for too long. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. And it's like, then on top of that, I don't know, maybe he knew they would be a clip and things on YouTube, but if not, then I'm like, bro, you ain't got no camera on or nothing. I'm like, yeah, that's something where I'm like, I don't know how that could have been a joke, but anyways.
Wow, hello.
Yeah, that motherfucking trim twin. That motherfucking trim twin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like,
I know you got it, man. He's alright.
all right, people coming, bro. Already.
No, Beaver ain't gonna contact them for no cut. I know that much.
Cardi started performing yet?
Downstairs and go left, right?
Depending which way you take. You keep straight.
That's a decent sized house. Dang, they got like a mini bar up there and stuff. That's crazy.
See ya.
No, they're gonna talk about them. It's like 3,500 for a cut. I'm like, bro, and it really isn't an
You get on
05
yet?
Honda.
How much was a cut? 65.
Dang, 65.
Toast the prices, man. Now, like they be trying to take.
Nah, yeah, you 100, yeah. I mean, that's pulling up, but then, yeah, like, yeah, they come to a house, yeah, you gonna get waxed.
That's crazy. I'll
But
never.
that's
Yeah, that's
funny.
one thing about it. I'm like, the day I do decide to go back to using like or going to a barber, I'm like, that's one thing. He was like, "Oh, I do house calls." You know, I was like, "You ain't have to worry about that." I'm like, I like my thing is this. I will text you, because that was, you know what, that was the one thing about it, is like, even I remember with my the barber they used to, well, the video's almost over.
You said, I
right?
taught you I like Uncle Phil, man. That shit was funny.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
like,
funny.
but no, it's like I remember when my barber, because it got to a point where he was all like, hey, just like, you know, because there might be days where I'm not at the shop. So, yeah, just text me and let me know. And because I was like, at the time being, this was when I was working in Seattle. So if I knew I was going to, like, right after work, was going to go over to the, because it was like, it was at the mall and things. So, like, I knew it was going to be some distance. So I'll just be all like, I'll text them beforehand and just be all like, hey, I'm, you know, if you are in, or, you know, whatever this case may be, I was like, I'm gonna come by and get me a cut. He's like, is that cool? He's like, yeah, sure. He's there. Might be a day where he ain't there or don't show up. And I'm like, oh, you know, it's whatever. It's cool. I'll just go through somebody else that's there and things. But nah, he's still gonna be my barber. But it was like, you know, just to get right and things, because yeah, there would be at times where it kind of grow out a little bit, and I'm like, nah. So. But yeah, overall, I was like, nah, he was cool though. He was a cool dude. I was like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I haven't went to a barber since. I'm like, that's how loyal I am to. Even he ain't even here with us no more. And I'm like, still, I'm like, when I find it, you know, that trust again to a barber, then I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll go to a barber. But until then, I'm like, yeah, bro, I got my own clippers. I'm like, I'm cutting my own hair. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm like 3,500 for a cut. I'm like, man, something wrong with you. You think I'm gonna pay you that much for a cut? But Anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Next Gen TV for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.